Hi, this is Mini Builder, and I was watching your video today on the wing and the folding mechanism and slides. So, first, I'd like to give a quick shout out to Fletcher3913, Bunyip, and Davis King. They all came to several conclusions here, which I really like and I thought you'd benefit from. So, as you can see here, this is a rough recreation of your arm, and so what you have here is this situation, and what's going to happen here, if you have a pulley situated at the top and a winch here, there's a pulley here, we'll get to that later though. What you have is a situation where obviously when this goes up like so, that basically you're not going to be able to get close enough to the hole as that illustrates. There's just no way. Okay, so the scale's not perfect, obviously, because I don't have exact numbers, but you get the point here. So, in this, if you were to have your winch mounted here, you're going to have the pulley. Here's your slide bar. Here's your slide bars. And you'd have a pulley here, and a cable coming up, and a cable coming down. You have to have a cable that transitions this. I'm sorry, a pulley that transitions this, and then another pulley which transitions this off to the side, and I would suggest mounting your winch underneath at the top on the side of the wall, and that's an acceptable situation, except for it doesn't fix your wing and you're never going to get it out. Also, when you pull this at the top, the strain it's going to take, because of the leverage and how that all works out, it's going to take an absolutely massive amount of force to pull this in. So that's not really a really good situation. So let's go over a plan that um, Davis King went over, and that's this. So if you have your arm here, okay, and you slide this up, right, like that, and then it comes up and it reduces the force. I mean, the forces are going to be pretty high anyhow, but effectively this brings it all the way in. Now again, forgive me, this would work out perfectly on your application because you have the links. If you gave me the exact dimensions of everything that you had there, I could work this out quite a bit better, and that tucks it in pretty significantly. Um, it actually should end up in your application basically with these bars pretty much parallel like that. And you're not going to be really sacrificing headspace. You're not going to have a real head whacker here. You'll still be able to walk through here. And again, the winch is mounted off to the side. The beauty of this is you can tilt it. The strain, because it's got this little extra bit here, it's going to pull it up tighter and snugger with less. I mean, it's still going to take a lot of power to get it tucked in, but it's going to be much less because the geometry is much better. Also, the benefit is here you have your slides that come down, boom, and it comes up, and your cable can go down here, and it depends on the angle here. The further in, the better. You can have some bracing here, but if it doesn't come all the way, you could put a pulley right here to again change the geometry of the cable going to the winch. And the winch is high and it's inside under the roof, away from spray and weathering. As somebody else mentioned in the comments, that's a real big thing for anything electromechanical or mechanical in general. So the simpler the better. And this is a very simple system. Also, since you're pulling on the top of this piece here, so if you look over here, you just have your cable that's attached to this, a little eye hook, and wherever you decided to mount your roller here. Now, I believe it was Fletcher 3913 came up with the idea of machining down your rods and putting a Delrin cover over the end of those large stainless steel rods. And I think that's an excellent idea and would make it very simple. Instead of having to deal with anything on these slides, you just add a little bit of Delrin here and you're done. A little bit of machining, have a lathe. I mean, this should take a machinist no more than an hour to whack out, and so you're looking at mostly $100, probably. I couldn't see it being any more than $100. Usually, machinist labor is about $100 an hour. I know that's not ideal. Maybe you could work it out cheaper. Not sure. I'm sure though, by the time you work out all this, covering this with the Delrin and the screws and everything, because you're going to have to take and have countersunk screws from the inside of that, and doing that from the inside of this, it's not going to leave much room. It's probably going to be a real pain in the ass. So I would definitely go with this idea. I think this is the way that you should go. There was one other person in the comments that I wanted to do a shout out to, but I couldn't find their comment because I refreshed their page and everything changes. So my bad, and apologize to you if you made a comment about the Delrin ends, because there was two people that I noticed in the comments, and those are extremely good ideas. I actually came up with all this except for the Delrin ends on my own, but then I looked in the comments and I'm glad somebody else came up with the same idea. That makes me happy. This would be really easy here to manufacture this little curve. All you have to do is take a radius of steel, and then a couple pieces of flat bar, and then just tack them onto, weld them onto the edges here, and bada bing, bada boom, you're done. Weld it all together, and there you go. I think that's going to be the way that you want to do this here. And yeah,